Hi everyone! Today I'll be making my September cross-stitch update. Now this video came out a little bit later than I wanted to make it, but recently school sickness has been going around, so I was sick for the past week, and basketball's getting more and more going again, and so everything's very busy. So I didn't get to it last weekend, which was technically the first weekend of October, but I'm here to make my video today, and I have my festive candy corn nails, which are very exciting, and I have a lot to show. So without further ado, I'll just get right into it. So the first whip I have is one that I've shown a lot, is my wreath for all seasons, which is by Bucia and looks like this. Oh, oops. So yeah, it looks like that. And I know I have to stop. I just can't say anything in my videos about how much progress I want to get done, because anytime I say, oh, I'll bet I get this much progress done, or I'll totally have this much, or I want to do this much in this amount of time, every time I say it in a video, it never seems to happen. So I know in my last video I said I thought I would finish the spring wreath by now. Well, that didn't happen. I'm getting close, but it didn't happen. So this is where I'm at the moment. So that's what I have right now. Here, let me see if I can fold this so I can more easily point. So the last time I showed this, I think I had most of this portion done, so pretty much all the flowers and the bird. So in September I finished all the wood up here and throughout the whole thing. And then there were a couple flowers over here which I didn't finish last time I showed this, which are now done. So pretty much all that's left in this wreath is some of the like just background leaves and stuff like that, and like the wood in the wreath and the ribbon. All the wreaths have ribbon in them. They all have leaves that are the same pretty much. So this one shouldn't take too long to finish. This little, what did I just say? I don't know how long it's going to take for me to finish this wreath. Hopefully I can finish this one before winter, so I can do the winter one during the correct season, but who knows what's going to happen. So I don't know. I always think that I have some idea in my head of how this is all gonna work, and then just never seems to actually materialize into something. But so I still like this one a lot. The fabric has definitely gotten a lot more pliable since when I first started working on it. Like when I first started working on this fabric, it was so stiff. But now it feels nice and it's not stiff at all, which I think just comes with time. I think I've started this. I didn't write down when I started this. I see all these people who they have like the journal and the apps, and they count how many stitches they do, and they record hours and things like that. I would like to be able to meticulously record my cross stitch so I could know exactly when I started something and exactly when I finished it. But that I'm quickly realizing that that's not going to happen. especially there's been a big jump in homework for me this year. So don't have a lot of time during the week. And the weekends are generally filled up with sports related things. So who knows? But I'm glad with, even though it's not as much as I wanted to get done on this particular project, I think I'm happy with how much I got done. I'm not like sad. Like I thought, even when I said in my video that I thought I could finish the spring wreath soon, I kind of knew in my head that that was a little bit of a stretch for me. But so that was my first whip. My second one, I didn't take it out of the bag. Good job, me. I chipped my nail. That's not good. But, anyway. This is my Heaven and Earth Designs mini blueberry basket. Which looks like that by Kayomi Harai. If I ever do another Heaven and Earth Designs, I might want to do one of her dragons. I think I like a lot of her designs. They're very pretty, and they're like, I like the ones that are more realistic and detailed versus some of them where it just seems like big blocks of color, but this one especially I like. And as I mentioned in my last video, I said I was going to try not parking, and it works so much better for me. It's on a huge piece of 18 count Aida. So this is where I'm at. Kind of hard to see what I've done, but I'm gonna try and point it out anyway. So the last time I showed this, I had this column. I can't find this column and this part of the second column. So I've obviously stopped parking. You can tell from this area right here. So I've done these stitches here and then all these stitches along here. Those are all new. And I like not parking. I thought something, I don't know why when I started this I thought that I had to do parking, and I think when I first started it, you know, that was over a year ago, and I had no idea cross stitch projects could be this complicated or big. That was only recently after I had discovered a floss tube. So I was still kind of just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And so I kind of think I thought that, like computer's making noise. I kind of think I thought that if I did parking, it was like a security thing, I guess. Like, well, other people use this for doing Heaven and Earth design, so it must work, because I didn't really know what I was doing. But now that I think I've done more cross stitch than I had at that point, I realize now that it's not necessary. And in fact, I like it a lot more. The only thing I miss about parking is, especially in this gray area here, let me see if I can try and show this. In this gray area, I don't know if you can see, there are a lot of stitches that are far apart. Like here, these are all far apart. And knowing myself, that's a recipe for disaster. Which I guess is part of the beauty with Heaven and Earth designs. If you mess up, nobody can tell. But if you're not parking, some of the colors, like, they're so kind of spread out that you really have to count, and you have to like triple check double check, triple check that you counted it right, because otherwise you can like get off one and then it's a big mess. But I definitely think it's better. It's definitely better. I got a lot more done in a quicker amount of time, which is always what you want. So, slowly chugging away. And, I just remembered this now, but thank you everyone for such the nice and supportive comments on my last video. There were so many of them that I didn't feel like I could really respond to all of them, but I really do appreciate them. And even on other videos, I don't always notice comments the day they're posted. I might see them a week later. And so I don't always have the time to be able to respond to every single comment I get, but I really do appreciate them, and they make me smile when I see them. So thank you everyone for such nice comments. Just thought I'd say that when I remember to. And then Surprise Whip / New Start was my Dimensions Gold Collection Aurora cabin. Looks like that. I really like this picture. Cross stitch. This is like one of my favorite ones that I own. Which is unfortunate for how I messed up so bad on it. But so I decided to just scrap what I had. I had about, I don't know, maybe 1,000 stitches, which, you know, it's not nothing. But I really wasn't liking how it was. I had started parking, I had messed up, and really it just felt like it was a lot to try and go and fix it. And so I decided to just restart it on a new piece of fabric, not parking, because this was after I had figured out on my Heaven and Earth designs that I didn't actually like parking. So I just went to Hobby Lobby, bought some cheap fabric there, because this is full coverage, you're not going to see it. And so, what is my computer doing? Close. Thank you. Sorry about that. But so yeah, I wanted to restart it, which I did, and I'm really happy with the amount of progress I've made in this short amount of time that I've been working on this new version of it. Now this fabric is super crispy. Like, I ironed it multiple times, and it's been pushed and shoved into my Q-snap so many times that you would think that it would start to soften out, but no. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to try and show it because it's also on such a big piece of fabric, because they only had, you know, it's Hobby Lobby, so they have a certain set of sizes, and, you know, there's one that's just a bit too small, and then there's one that's way too big, so have to get the one that's way too big. But so, sorry, there is a hanging thread, brown, but this is where I'm at. So that is all the snow on the roof of the cabin done. There's very little left, I think, if any. Which I think is super good progress. That is a lot of stitching that got done in about a week or two, I'd say. Because the past week or two I haven't been able to work on my cross stitch as much. So most of the stuff is actually from like early to mid-September, and then the end of September things started to get really busy and I wasn't able to do as much. Excuse me. But so yeah, this is a lot of progress for me. Now this fabric is super difficult to work with. And I'm hoping that it's not super difficult, that might be pushing it a little bit. but because it's so stiff, it's really difficult to get the needle through the holes of the fabric. Like, or at least like when you're coming up from the bottom and you can't see where the holes are, they're not like obvious because they're still, the fabric is starched, and so the starch is still kind of like in the little holes, and normally when you come up through the back you can kind of feel and you'll see where the hole is and you can just come up, but because there's like, it's all starched, you can't really feel your way to try and find the hole, or at least, okay, that's how I find the hole in the back, but it's just, and then it's really tough to bring it up through, and I'm hoping that it'll be like the fabric in my wreath for all seasons, in that it over time gets softer and easier to use, because if it stays this way it's going to be a little difficult, especially if there are points where you use 6 strands for half stitches, like almost all the sky up here is half stitches. And a lot of them are, you know, like 5, 6 strands of floss, which is going to be really difficult to try and bring up through the holes if they're not very open. Again, sorry. I'm getting over being sick, so might be coughing a little bit. But so, yeah, I'm with the clean slate, it's definitely a lot more enjoyable to work on this project. Don't have to worry about going back and fixing mistakes and stuff like that. I do regret, on the chart, I hadn't quite figured out or heard that you can make a working copy of the chart. So I had started highlighting the areas that I'd done on the actual chart. And so part of it's a little difficult to read, again, because it's been highlighted. But that's partly the reason why now I always make a working copy of a pattern, and then I can save it, because for exactly that reason, if I ever like mess up so badly that I just want to restart it, because what do you know, that's happened multiple times for me, then I can always just look at because finding conversions for the floss is easy enough. It's really trying to read the pattern again if you've already marked over it, that's kind of difficult. So that's all for my whips. Now I've done some sewing. This was all me. I made 2, not all me, my mom helped me a little bit. But so I made 2 grime guards, which I am really liking. One is for, what size are they? I think one is for a 11, or is it an 8 by 8? It's either an 8 by 8, an 11 and 11 by 11, or 11 by 11 and 14 by 14. I think it's the 8 by 8 though. So this one is the smaller one, and this one is the bigger one. And I followed the tutorial from, is it the Cross Stitch Forum? It's the one that Trisha, the left-handed stitcher, did a video on. So whatever that one is, I think, is on Cross Stitch Forum. But so, I made it all on my own, which I think is really great. I picked fabrics that I thought might go with some of my projects, like this one could go with like my flowery wreaths and my cat, and then this one could go with like the Aurora cabin wintry theme. Now, yeah, really sorry about the coughing. Again with the I wish I had made the grime guards a little bit wider, like that's about as wide as I made it, which is what the tutorial said to do, but especially with the Aurora cabin and really the blueberry basket as well, there's so much extra fabric that I want to be able to like roll it up and put it in the space between the Q-snap and the grime guard. But these are still too small to have enough space for that just extreme amount of extra fabric. So I want to make it wider so that there's more room to roll the fabric into, because that would make it a lot easier if there's not all this, especially with the Aurora cabin. The fabric's really stiff, and so it kind of like rubs on your arm instead of just like draping and still getting everywhere. But I don't know. I like these. These are good. They work. I definitely like them because they add another customizability, that's the word, to cross stitch. But I think definitely if I make these again, I will make them wider. So that's all I have to show. I feel like that was a good amount of progress for a month. So thank you everyone for watching this video. Again, thank you all for such nice comments, and see you guys next time. Bye!